Then, a happy-go-lucky voice echoed through the room. Oh hoo ha 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 ha. Dino-chan, I'm going to make you regret your last betrayal against me. It was Rammus's exultant laugh. At last, Rammus's vicious evil hand crept up to Dino's group. It was Rammus's evil hand creeping toward Dino at last. The structure of the hierarchy changes as Rammus's high-pitched laugh reverberates around the room. Beretta, Zijin, and Pico appear, as well as Kumara and Ranga. These were the 5 warriors who had set out to intercept Dino and the others. Damn, I knew you'd be here. Dino looked up at Zijin. Dino wanted to escape from this situation as soon as possible. But Rammus would not allow it. When Vega and Dino were far enough away from Rammus decided to execute the operation. To be precise, Dino's group was a bonus, and the main target was Mai. The objective was to isolate Vega and eliminate him while Mai was stuck in the labyrinth. Even if that was impossible, she had to make sure that Vega could not escape from the labyrinth by isolation alone. Rammus appeared in front of Dino, who looked around with disgust. It was an elaborately reproduced 3-dimensional hologram. Dino's eyes twinkled when he saw it. Rammus does elaborate things in odd places, doesn't she? He sighs and shouts out loud. You used the golem to abuse us a while ago, didn't you? Can't a righteous demon lord do such a thing? Dino complains to Rammus. A new concept such as a righteous demon lord has been introduced. He has been working hard since he entered the labyrinth, and his stress is piling up. Dino was in a rage as if he wanted to complain at least. Rammus, however, was not in a hurry. In front of Dino's eyes, she says as if she is trying to stir him up. What are you talking about? It's just a short greeting. Now is the time to get back at you. Hearing this, Dino is fed up. So he takes this opportunity to appeal to them. Give me a break, Rammus-san. You and I are on the same side, aren't we? He throws away his pride with all his might and pleads with a pathetic voice. But Rammus is not fooled. She hears Dino's pathetic wish with a hem, and then makes a bombshell statement. I prepared 5 people for you because you had 5 people, but I have 1 person left. Then, I'll ask Dino-chan to play with Beretta and Zijin. She said deliberately. Dino was at a loss to understand what was being said. But when the words reached his brain, he tried to understand what they meant. You've got to be kidding me, you idiot. We can't win. Dino's pitiful exclamation echoed through the labyrinth. Dino regained his composure and resumed the negotiations. Hey, if I'm going to have to deal with 2 people, can I go get another one? No, you can't. Think about it. So, who's left to fight who? Before they knew it, Pico was set for a rematch with Kumara, and Gracia was to fight Ranga. The only one left is Mai, who is paired with a Pico. It seemed that the story was going to be wrapped up quietly, ignoring Dino. Dino, who thought that this was a bad idea, quickly came up with an idea. Wait, how about this? It's called a point-scoring game. Let's fight one by one and decide who wins. Right. Dino is quite desperate. For Dino, this was a desperate measure. If he was the general, he might not have to fight against Beretta and Zijin if he was successful. If not, at least they could avoid having to deal with them at the same time. Besides, since they had to buy time for Vega to invade the labyrinth, they had to persist somehow. This proposal would kill 2 birds with 1 stone, which was good for Dino. At this last moment, I'm so smart, you know. Dino was proud of himself. This proposal was a gamble. If they entered into a combat situation at this point, it would most likely end in Dino and his team's defeat. Knowing this, Dino was desperate. To tell the truth, if I were to play against those 2, I would not last more than a few minutes. Dino's view is that they would not last more than a few minutes against those 2. He could manage with Beretta alone, but with Zijin, it was a dead end. He could ask Mai to escape, but that would leave Vega to die. Since Feldway is not likely to allow it, he will be purged from the situation. If there was no way out, he wanted to take a chance that he could still survive. Hoping to push through this proposal, Dino waited for Rammus's reply as if praying. However, the proposal was too convenient for Dino and his friends. I knew that such a good idea would not be accepted. Dino was about to give up. Okay. I've got my own reasons. Hey, Rammus-sama. Rammus's video became noisy, and then it was back to normal. Oops. That was nothing. It's nothing, don't worry about it. And the proposal was accepted. There was a somewhat suspicious exchange going on, but they should have let it go. Maybe Rammus wanted to buy some time. But it's convenient for me. Whatever the reason was, it was better than being killed. Dino listened to Rammus and Benimaru's smelly conversation, and was happy that his opinion was accepted. So, let's start with Kumara-chan. Rammus's intentions were not further probed. Then, the battle was about to begin in the form of a spectacle wrestling. Rammus were also pleased with the way things were going. Hey, Rammus-sama, you surely look suspicious. Don't worry, don't worry. Dino-chan has no time to be suspicious of us. Rammus was optimistic, but Benimaru was of the same opinion. In the face of Zijin, who is the absolute leader, there's no time to worry about other things, she thought. It was true. Rammus and Dino have known each other for a long time, so it is surprising that they know what each other is thinking. It is an example of a relationship where the more they fight, the better they get along. And so, the first round begins. The first pair is Kumara versus Pico. The labyrinth had somehow changed its structure, and the stage was set. Pico moves forward to the center of the circular Colosseum. Kumara is ready. We're going to settle this today. That's my line. I won't take it easy on you just because you're a kid. Pico's line was not quite right, since they look completely opposite. However, as Pico says, there is a huge gap between their ages, as big as the creation of heaven and earth. It is not a metaphor but a fact. Even though age does not equal experience. Pico is certainly a better fighter than Rammus. Rammus knew this very well, so they thought that it did not matter which way the game went. As proof, Beretta is also standing in the center of the Colosseum. Well, before we start the fight, let me give you a reminder. First of all, both of you, please put these on. Beretta presented the resurrection bracelet created by Rammus. Oh, I've been wanting one of these. It was Dino who said this in a friendly manner, accepting the bracelet without being asked for it. Dino put on the bracelet quickly. Oh, well, now I can escape anytime I want. And so on and so forth, Dino plays his tricks to his own advantage. Of course, the world is not so easy. Dino-chan, let me tell you first that the bracelet's resurrection point is set to the place where you died. You know what I mean, don't you? Rammus explained to him in person. Hearing this, Dino was disappointed, thinking that he would not be able to escape. Rammus continued to explain to Dino as if she was trying to catch up with him. I didn't think you'd like the bracelet that much, Dino-chan. Then I'll give you 5 of them as a special gift. What? For a moment, he didn't understand what Dino said to him, but he didn't have to think too hard to realize that she meant only one thing. She said she would kill him 5 times. Hey, you, that's not funny. Hoo. You should know how much I hate you. So Dino's argument was rejected, and he was kicked out of the Colosseum for interfering with the match. Then the fight began. Kumara was barehanded against Pico's spear. She did not have any weapon of her own, but she had a fan as a weapon. The fan is a hobby of Kurobi, and its performance is equivalent to that of a legendary grade weapon. Even so, it was not considered to be a weapon that could be used against a mythical grade weapon, even though it was a mass-produced model. Kumara, however, looked relaxed. White monkey by Akurin. As soon as Kumara gave this command, one of the tails changed its shape, and a monkey-shaped Majin appeared. The white monkey by Akurin, which looked more human-like than before, held a stick in its hand. The name of the stick was Shinkubu. Rimuru had Kurobi make it for fun, based on the weapon of the main character Sun Wukong in the Chronicles of the West. It may not look like anything special, but its performance is laughable. Even if it was just for fun from Rimuru's point of view, Kurobi was serious about it. The materials used were not so fancy. They used Heiei arcane, which was left over. It is no wonder that Kurobi was serious about this project, and the performance of this project is mythical grade. This is truly a superb work by Kurobi. Although not as flexible as the real thing, it could be made to expand and contract to some extent at the will of the owner. The design was specialized only for strength, but it also had an unexpected side effect. It is a real weapon, not a mass-produced mythical grade weapon. With such a steel rod in his hand, White Monkey by Akurin dances. Kii. Hush. The White Monkey by Akurin, who is approaching Pico with a strange voice, is a top-notch dancer. That's because he has been under Hakura's tutelage whenever he has free time in the labyrinth. Kumara is now an expert in the art of stick fighting, and has even mastered the art of battle will. Moreover, Kumara was able to freely distribute her power to her tail, and summoned the White Monkey by Akurin with a concentrated effort. In other words, the current White Monkey by Akurin was equivalent to the million class, his existence value exceeded 1,000,000, and its threat was immeasurable. Of course, Kumara, the host, was no match for Byakurin. She has endured Hakura's rigorous training and is now an accomplished master. In fact, Kumara is even better than White Monkey by Akurin in terms of level alone. Kumara has even attained divinity and reached Foxgen. There was no way she was weak. The White Monkey by Akurin was summoned because it would ensure the victory. Kumara had grown up a lot with her experience against Carrion and Free. White Monkey by Akurin and Kumara teamed up for Pico. White Monkey by Akurin, who has no fear of dying, stands in the front, while Kumara attacks from the rear with a series of tail attacks. Kumara has a good record in the fight against Oria, where she successfully prevented Trident. Pico's skill was better than Kumara's, but it was not a problem for Kumara as she kept her eyes on the defensive. If Pico targets Kumara, White Monkey by Akurin will attack Pico. It is very efficient, but it is not so easy for the attacker. What the hell is this guy? I mean, wasn't it one-on-one? Pico whined. There was no such rule from the beginning. It was just a sore loser. Eat this. Pico exercised her power. A lightning bolt, black thunder, struck Kumara. Kumara, however, does not move. She deploys her 8 tails like lightning rods, and deals with the lightning without harming herself. Pico's eyes peeled. This person, she looks like a different person from when we fought before. She's unnaturally improved her ability. Pico's tongue was tied behind her back. She was not a loser by any means, but she felt the need to admit the reality. In the battle of transcendence, there are 3 elements necessary: strength, compatibility, and luck. The basic premise is that they are equal in ability. In addition to this, the advantage or disadvantage of compatibility was added, and finally, luck was the deciding factor. Kumara had a certain level of skill. Kumara had already become a player who could beat Pico. Now, Pico had no choice but to take the game seriously. But what's the point of winning? Even Dino's main goal is to survive. Pico was not motivated at all. If Pico had been serious at this point, she probably would have won against Kumara. If Pico had used his ultimate skill Rigor King Jibril, and exercised her terrible power of Ten no Sabaki, she could have eliminated the white monkey by Akurin with a single blow. Pico's Ten no Sabaki is a very unreasonable ability to alter events, which makes the target's body reproduce the damage it has inflicted on the enemies it has defeated so far. In order to resist this, it is necessary to have at least some kind of higher power of alteration, such as law, event, or fate. Kumara's ultimate gift Beast King Bahamut is a power specialized in control over natural influences. Pico's Ten no Sabaki would have worked, though it would not have worked in the case of hallucination, since it is imbued with divinity. In such a case, the white monkey by Akurin would have taken his place as a shield, but she would have had a hard time. But Pico did not make that choice here. Instead, she should have chosen to fight now. I have to stall for time anyway, so let's play. Pico decided to enjoy the game until the end. Then, the time of the final battle arrives. Fallen Spear. Pico's special blow finally destroys the white monkey by Akurin. But that was the end of the story. 9-hole blow. Pico, who had been immersed in the momentary afterglow, was left with a small opening. Kumara did not miss it, and at that moment, she hit Pico with a series of tail strikes. Pico's body scatters as particles of light, and she revives on the spot. Ramrus's voice echoes over to Pico, who looks disappointed. Yes, it's over. Kumara-chan wins. Kumara, a bewitching beauty, does not look good with the chan suffix, but from Ramrus's point of view, she was a Kajitsune until just a short while ago. Since they can't suddenly change the name, such a misguided declaration of victory has been made. Anyway. Kumara's victory was unquestionable, even though it was a big upset for Dino.